Pirkei Avot begins with, as you know, Moshe Kibel Torah Misinai, Umasru Yeshua. Lots of discussion about why the ethics of the Fathers, the book on ethics, should begin this way. And one actually interesting idea I saw was that it's to teach us that the ethics which are going to be taught, the moral standards and teachings that are going to be taught in this tractate are untaintedly Jewish. Moshe Kibel Torah Misinai, Masru Yeshua. These are the words, these are the values that Moses received directly from God at Sinai and passed on to Joshua and the whole line of tradition. In other words, there isn't any Greek influence in them or influence of any other cultures. The question is, since the Torah has told us that Derech Eretz preceded Torah, Derech Eretz means secular civilization, the way of the world, the values of the world, preceded the Torah. What was it the Torah brought to the party? Because the Talmud tells us that actually, even if you didn't have the Torah, there's an enormous amount you could learn about how to conduct yourself, moral standards, just by observing nature around you. And the Torah gives some very interesting examples. It says from an ant we learn that not to steal from each other, because each ant accumulates its own food, and no ant takes apparently food from any other ant. So you learn not to steal from an ant. So you learn honesty from an ant. From a cat, you learn modesty. Rashi explains to us that a cat goes to the toilet in a very tzniut way, in a very modest way, not like a dog. You see, a cat is very will always excuse itself and privately in a very nice way. So you learn modesty, modest behavior, modest personal behavior from a cat. From a rooster, says the Torah, you learn courtship, how to court a woman, because apparently a rooster spends quite a lot of time getting its mate's willing cooperation before it copulates. You see, it doesn't force itself on. Apparently, it's not the kind of thing which one normally sort of stands around and watches, but apparently that's the way it happens. And the Torah continues to say, the Talmud says that from a dove, you learn faithfulness, family faithfulness, because a dove, says Rashi, will only cohabit with its own mate. It's monogamous, completely monogamous in its relationship, and simply would not have a relationship outside of its primary relationship. So all of these things, how to conduct yourself as a decent human being, and to conduct a civilized world, you can actually learn just by observing nature. So what was it that, therefore, that the Torah brought to the party? What do we need the Torah for in terms of ethics? And that's a very nice question, for which I'm afraid we're going to have to wait till tomorrow to find the answer. But in the meantime,
right.
Do you remember, I don't know, growing up in South Africa at 5 o'clock every day, we used to have 15 minutes of Superman, up, up, up and away, etc. And somehow every single day, at the end of the 15 minutes, they left you on a cliffhanger, and you simply couldn't wait to come back the next day, because you had to find out what happened. I don't know how they managed to do that every single day.
Like
I'm just trying to encourage you all to come back tomorrow, because you're going to have a sleepless night trying to find the answer to this question that I've posed. And we're going to turn to Irving Bunim, who wrote a wonderful commentary on Ethics from Sinai, one of the classics, in order to be able to find some of the answer to this, which I'll tell you about tomorrow.
Yeah.